And welcome back. We have the fourth match of the final day of Alliance Tournament 8. You're listening to Verone and Darius Johnson. We have BANE versus Dead Terrorists. BANE, highlighted on the left-hand side of your screen in red, have fielded a Raven Navy issue, along with a Basilisk, a Hugin, a Curse, a Vulture, 3 Sabres, and a Nighthawk.
And for Dead Terrorists, we have 2 Macarials, a Proteus, a Damnation, a Hound, 2 Purifiers, and 2 Daredevils.
Now, it looks like for Dead Terrorists, that is going to be a very armor-centric, very heavily tanked loadout. It's probably going to be passive. There is no logistic ships on the field, but that Damnation is going to provide a hell of a lot of effective hit points.
There is actually a logistic ship, but it's on the other side.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Just saying. Okay. But yeah, I mean, that Navy Raven of BANE, I really don't think it's going to last long, in all honesty. Not against those 2 marks. The only battleship hull they have on the field. Logistics is there, but I have a feeling that those bombers are going to keep them out of contention pretty much for the entire fight.
Yeah, I guess we'll see whether that ends up being true or not. I'm not sure I believe you, Verone.
So who you putting
Only
your money
because
on?
I'm just being contrary.
Fair enough.
Not even because I have any inside information.
So who will you be putting your money on, Darius?
I would put my money on Dead Terrorists.
Yeah, I think I'm actually going to agree with you. I don't think that BANE have brought a setup that can counter these 2 marks.
Yeah, I don't think so either. We're underway. Did we have bombs go off? That's just the thing I like to ask every time I see a bomber.
I don't believe we've had bombs yet. Again, we have absolutely no drones out from BANE. They're holding them in the anticipation that obviously Dead Terrorists are going to launch bombs at them, and they are going to end up getting absolutely face smacked by them. So it's going to be interesting to see when when Dead Terrorists decide they want to use these purifiers and this Hound to the full effect.
Maybe they're just holding on to them because they don't want to use them.
Well,
that's another possibility.
They're at fairly extreme long range at present. I mean, they started out, as you saw from the tactical overlay, there's roughly about 50-60 kilometers between them. And I think, if anything, the Dead Terrorists are probably afraid their bombs won't actually reach at the present.
Well, I mean, they have a finite distance. They'll either reach or they won't.
Yeah, exactly. They're not going to reach at present.
It's not it, yeah.
So BANE closing on the beacon now. Well, not a really immense amount of DPS going on for either side.
No, they're shooting a Curse, and then the Curse gets repped up by the Basilisk, and then they just kind of fly around in space.
And I think that, in all honesty, Dead Terrorist loadout really won't come into play until they manage to pull a little bit of range.
Well, yeah, they're a little too far away to be all they can be, as we like to say.
Yes, absolutely. Dead Terrorists actually have drones out now. They've got a complement of heavy and medium armor maintenance bots out to support those 2 Macarials. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see when they decide to deploy their bombs. I haven't actually seen any on the field yet.
They may not deploy the bombs. They may just use the timing. Of course, they may not. I know I'm discussing the obvious, but they may not deploy their bombs. They may just use the bombers for the Painters and Torps, which are also very fun. We have a Dead Terrorist Daredevil that may or may not survive. Let us see. It looks like he's running a local rep.
I was just about to say that I'm really amazed that Dead Terrorists haven't actually switched targets, because that Curse is just not going to die. The Basilisk has him locked down, he's got his reps on him, and he's not going to die. They're not going to break him unless they can get close and they can get all their DPS on top of them, and they're still a mile away.
Maybe they're trying to win with science.
Possibly. This definitely could be the case. And see, BANE there have dropped a load more drones, light shield maintenance bots to support their logistics ship, the Basilisk and CSTR 435.
They did switch to that Saber, and the Bazzy got right on it. Yeah,
the Basilisk pilot seems to be doing his job. He's very on the ball, so I don't think that that they're gonna manage to break him unless they can get that Basilisk off the field.
Well, they're just gonna have to get in.
Yeah, they're going to have to get close enough. Interestingly enough, now that we mention it, there's a little over 20 kilometers between the lead ships from BANE and the 2 Macarials from Dead Terrorists. So it looks as if we might see some bomb action soon. Or
well, I think you want them to be at about 30 kilometers before you push button.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a one of those really long matches where it's going to be a pretty slow slugfest. Not a great deal is going to happen, unfortunately.
Well, everybody's just kind of feeling each other out, like a boxing match, right? You go in and you're like, why are these guys just tapping each other, not doing it? It's because you're learning the moves, man. What they're doing is they're probing, trying to find a chink in the armor.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Bane's Basilisk pilot, I don't think he's that stupid. I think he's going to manage to keep as many of these guys alive as he possibly can, because he's doing an awesome job so far. They've split damage across 2 sabers. They've tried moving backwards and forwards between those curses, but there we go. I think we might get proven wrong.
That's the problem. When you get in close enough and you're able to do enough damage, the idea is to out exactly
and there we
what
go.
they did. Yeah, you want to out alpha the logistics ship, which is what just happened, and a ship blew up. It was a saber.
Yes,
and it made an
certainly
explosion.
was a blue explosion.
Was it blue?
Yeah, it was. It was blue. It was quite nice. But you can see straight away there, as soon as Dead Terrorists have managed to get the gang within range and they've managed to get the DPS down, they can break the Basilisk if they try and confuse him a little.
Well, they can at least with the lower
with
buffered ships.
Ships that don't have a really big hit point buffer, such as the Saber, if they had frigates on the field. Second Saber down again there. This is the problem with fielding small ships for ECM. They're great, they're nimble, they're fast, they can really dictate range and they can kite people if they go after them, but the main issue that you have is it's just so hard to keep them alive with a logistics ship, because it's so easy for them just to get alphaed off the field straight away.
Which is exactly
just
what
like
happened.
that.
Yeah, I mean, that time, I don't even think the guy got him. He should have had him targeted already because he had to know where they were going. But you didn't even see the armor or the shield go back up at all.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see what they shoot next. It's going to be that Navy Raven.
Yeah, I think that this Navy Raven's probably going to be a lot more difficult to drop than those 3 frigates purely because of the hit point buffer. I think that the Basilisk's going to have him covered, and if I was Dead Terrorists, I would get that logistics off the field as soon as I could.
Yeah, that's obviously the core of their team right now, what they're fielding.
Yeah, it's just strange to see. I mean, they wasted a lot of time on the frigates, but that was just to try and probably poke a hole in the setup and try and find a weakness, get the dampen power off the field. The Basilisk really needs to go next. I mean, and there he goes. They've started. It looks like they've started to shoot at it. I believe it's been supported by logistics drones, so it might take a while to get rid of it.
This will be one of those matches that I love to talk about, like we did yesterday, where it would be a good idea to kill their drones if possible.
Yeah, there are like maybe 30 light shield maintenance bots all over that Basilisk, so they're going to just have to try and get those max timed right and just try and alpha through its shields as hard as they can. Try and get the Proteus in close to it. Hopefully one of the pilots might actually have a smart bomb or 2 fitted and they can get on top of that logistics ship.
No, the Basilisk's fallen now. Science.
Indeed. But yeah, I mean, he's been... Actually, the Vulture, Vilrath of BANE, he's actually muting the Basilisk for cap, I think, and the Basilisk is cap transfer and elsewhere as well. So it looks as if they have a pretty solid loadout. Torpedo damage straight away, we can see there on that on the Basilisk of BANE. But the amount of shield rep drones that are around it, it just doesn't look as if it can break the tank.
No, I mean, and you saw it dip down to about 25% and is now all the way back up. So, you know, if it was me, I would probably shoot at something else in the hopes that it would actually do something. Yeah,
and we can see there, can't actually see it in real detail. There we go. We've got a good shot of it now. The Vulture is actually indeed, yeah, it's muting its own Basilisk for cap, and then the Basilisk is giving out cap elsewhere, but it's really heavily target painted now. But no DPS at all.
Well, I mean, they are doing some damage to the Dead Terrorist team, just not
Yeah, it's a little bit more spread out, which is kind of strange because they don't need to try and confuse a logistics pilot on the Dead Terrorist side because there isn't one.
Yeah, but I think I mean, either way, switching around is a good idea if you're not having particularly any luck with whatever it is you're shooting. This isn't, you're not just going to keep throwing a rock at the same barn door and hit it. This isn't the way things work here.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Or maybe
Kill
they
2
do.
would love that analogy about barn doors.
Barn doors? Who would?
Yeah, Kill 2 would love that.
Oh, Kill 2.
Being from a farm and everything.
Yeah, well, he knows a little bit more about barn doors than I do, and he'll probably say I was dead wrong in that analogy.
Yeah.
But I've never even seen a chicken.
I have. I ate one.
Did you?
Yeah, it's nice. But we can
Bombs
see there.
drones exploding.
Yeah, drones going down. We've got the CNR of BANE in range of the Proteus of dead terrorists, and he's smart bombing the hell out of all the logistics drones that were around this Proteus, and they're just like torpedoing the hell out of the thing now.
Excellent. And that's what you want to do. If you can't break the take in the logistics drones, you blow up the logistics drones. They're still chewing on that curse, and I mean, the shield's going down, and they may be able to get through it now.
Yeah, well, hopefully they will be able to. I mean,
I do see a sliver of armor damage there, Ted.
Yeah, the BANE Basilisk, they're doing an excellent job though. I mean, he's clawed all the shield back straight away, so he's it really makes a difference if you have a really skilled logistics pilot, as you were saying earlier, Darius.
Like yourself.
Yeah, like myself. I'd be a logistics pilot if I could in the tournament. But so often it's the linchpin of a setup rather than just being bait. And it's awesome to see when you get a really skilled logistics pilot and you can see the opposing team trying to poke a hole in the setup, trying to confuse him, trying to catch him like his rep cycles off so that they can just get in and get enough alpha on someone. And it's brilliant to see when a logistics pilot can completely cope with that.
What does a pro like you yourself do in a situation such as that?
I generally get prime read and die.
Oh.
That's what I do when I PvP in EVE now, unfortunately.
Well, it's never too late to keep learning. That's what I say.
Absolutely.
You have that going for you.
Indeed. And now with a total lack of logistics drones on that Proteus, we can see there he's taking heavy fire. He's roughly 50% armor, and we're probably going to lose him soon.
Yeah, and did not really do... Oh, they went back after the Basilisk pilot. Can they do it?
This is the question. I'm just trying to get a handle on...
could go all. No.
We can see there, at least on the commentary screen, we can't see it on the live feed at present, that Basilisk. All of every single one of those logistics drones around the Basilisk has just been absolutely nuked. They've just, I believe they've just bombed the logistics drones around that Basilisk.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, and they've just absolutely flattened it.
That's pro.
Wow, that was awesome. And again, holding off with the bombs until it's really needed, until it makes tactical sense to use it. That was an outstanding move from dead terrorists.
It really was. That made me happy. And as you can see, the Proteus now clawing its way back up. The Basilisk now getting shot without that giant pile of drones around him. Let's see how long he can hold it up. If I was a betting man, and I'm not, I would say he's going to die. He has
been heavily target painted. He does have an active tank running. I can see one hardener at least running and a shield booster. It looks like it's going to be, judging by how fast the cycle's running, it's every like second and a half or so. So I think it's going to be a medium shield booster of some description. Just wow, that was an awesome move, an absolutely awesome move from dead terrorists with the bombs.
And now you're seeing them send their bombs over there, or I mean drones. And just trying to get as much DPS as they can on that Basilisk.
Yeah, I mean, this is it's just an awesome use of tactics, and I love seeing stuff like this in the tournament.
Yeah.
Instead of going all out, just the devastation that you see with Pandemic Legion's bomber matches when they launch the bombs straight away, and they get as much off the field as they possibly can before the gang can spread out. But this is like a real patient and really tactical use of bombs. It's just it's so good to see.
Do you suppose they actually waited on purpose, or like at some point they were like sitting around just kind of plinking away, not winning, and then as actually a light bulb appeared above somebody's head and they said, I have it?
It could be either or, because dead terrorists actually have some decent FCs. So I think that what they might have done is just sort of, I mean, it only takes one single bomb, and there we can see the Basilisk of BANE is going to go down hard.
With that gone, I suspect we'll see BANE just vanish now.
Yeah, I think. Well, you've got to look at dead terrorist setup. I mean, they've got 2 Macs on the field. They've got at least 1500 DPS there, plus the DPS from the Proteus. They're just, without any remote logistics, they're just going to melt BANE now.
You can see a nice shot here of the Navy Raven kissing that Proteus.
Yeah,
very fancy.
They're up really close. We can see there the target painters from the bombers on the dead terrorist team are all over that Navy Raven now.
Yeah, there he goes. He's already in half armor.
Oh, and it just shows the sheer damage output of these things. They're only a frigate hull, but just the amount of damage output that you get with a target painter and a really good skilled character is so viable and so usable in the tournament.
That's a shame. I really like that name, TJ Hunt. He sounds like somebody you'd hang out with, like the guy who, like in like Family Ties or something, would knock on your window and be like, "Yo, what's up?" "Oh, TJ."
Oh yeah, I mean, you can see they're both. Looks like both Macarials are from.
Oh, there goes the curse.
Yeah, there goes the curse too. It looks like both Macarials are actually neuting the Proteus and the Damnation. We can see all of them there on screen.
Very, very interesting.
But I mean, it's been one of those long matches where they were pretty. They had different setups, but they were pretty evenly matched in terms of pilot skill, FC skill, and both being like former low-sec corps who've moved into bigger things. I mean, BANE obviously used to be a low-sec corps. They initially were part of Beyond Divinity, and then Beyond Divinity split in half, and Final Agony was formed, and we've just lost yet another hull from BANE. They're Hugin down. So only the Vulture and the Nighthawk, the two Kaldari-raced command ships.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty safe to say if they haven't broken a tank yet, they're not going to now.
Yeah, I very much doubt it.
They're just going to die.
And the Nighthawk, if you heavy assault fit the Nighthawk, can be a very good platform. Really fast rate of fire on its launches, and it obliterates most things. But they just do not have the support of the DPS in the field. I mean, dead terrorists pretty much have their entire gang intact. So
yeah,
that
was pretty impressive.
But I mean, that's been the best use of bombs in the tournament so far for me.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and I did say a second ago that was pretty impressive, as if it was past tense. But it's actually still going on right now, so it is pretty impressive.
Yeah, and that is actually cap transfer from the Damnation and the Max to the Proteus. Looks like they're just trying to keep him alive as best as they possibly can. They've also got 3 heavy armor maintenance bots on him as well to try and claw some of that armor back, and it looks like he's just about fully repped now. Nighthawk for BANE also going down. This is going to put BANE firmly out of the tournament.
Yeah. They will target the Vulture next.
Yes,
yes, the Magic 8 Ball.
Yep, they certainly will, Darius. The Vulture seems like the sensible choice.
He didn't say yes. It was something like, "Please ask again," and then I shook it again, and it was just like, "I love you." But I'm just going to say it said yes.
Yeah, so Vilrath, who was actually probably the FC for this gang, I should imagine. He's one of the guys who runs BANE and Final Agony. So yeah, it's... wow.
John Caffeine, do you suppose he likes coffee?
I reckon that he probably does.
Excellent.
But yeah,
I don't have anything clever to say about it the rest of the names. So we're just going to have to watch this Vulture die. And
yeah, I mean, he's webbed now. He's going to be painted pretty soon, and he's going to be down pretty soon. It's just a matter of time for the one remaining hull on the field from BANE now. But
where's he going?
He's going nowhere.
Nowhere.
Yeah, he's way off from the rest of the dead terrorist gang. He's like, it looks like he's right out towards the edge of the arena, in fact. Maybe not all the way out there. He's probably about 20-30 clicks off the edge of the arena, but he's a mile away from the rest of dead terrorist gang.
Will he give CCP Claw what he wants?
Well, CCP Claw over the last couple of days has pretty much won the Alliance tournament single-handedly on points value. The amount of people he's just decimated for going outside the arena.
CCP Claw, very talented PvPer.
Absolutely.
It's almost like he pushes like just one button. And
yeah, it's almost as if he just pushes a button and things explode.
Yeah.
But
I suspect he's playing with a hacked client.
But yeah, I mean, we can see. We're just going to have to sit back and wait and just hang about.
No!
It actually looks like someone wants to talk, but unfortunately they can't. Yeah,
that wasn't very nice of that gentleman.
And I'm a little bit confused because I have the director chuckling in my ear at that one.
Oh. What
please.
do you suppose he wanted to say? It's not
hello,
the guy
director.
who's
I'm doing
so
wonderful. But yes, I've got to ask everyone who's listening now. Ignore the idiot in Alliance tournament public. Do not convo the cameras because you're going to give us severe issues during the tournament. We're bringing this tournament for you guys, and we really want you guys to have fun, so please don't try and disrupt it. But yeah, we've got one Vulture left on the field for BANE. For BANE, who is Final Agony pilot, I believe. Yes, it is. It's CEO Final Agony, the founding corp of BANE, Vilrath. And I think it's just pretty much a matter of time before they chew through the rest of his shield hit points, and then he's going to be down and out, and it's going to put BANE out of the tournament.
Yes, any losses here today completely nullify whomever the loser is, which would be the reverse of a bad tournament in which the winner actually lost. The Vulture now almost out of shields. It's about to blow up.
And yeah, this is actually going to put BANE out of the tournament, which is quite nice.
I like that planet, though.
Yeah. Yeah, that planet is very pretty. And perhaps if we have any quiet matches later, we can do a little bit of planetary interaction.
Yeah.
But yeah, Vilrath there for BANE, just absolutely melting now that his shields are gone. Kaldari ship's totally hopeless without a shield tank. And wow, just waiting for the rest of his structure to vanish. And then we'll see Dead Terrorists go through into the next round.
The Dead Terrorists prove to be BANE's bane.
Yeah, and Dead Terrorists are very much indeed alive, not dead. And we can pass it back to Soundwave in the studio.